Okay. So I believe we know how to export from target to intruder. That shouldn't be an issue. You just come here, you right click, and then you send to intruder. But I want you to know if I send it to intruder again, if you look at the top here, you see one. If you look at here, you see three. The third time that I brought this in, and if you look at the fourth one, this is the last one I just did now. So sniper attack is what we are focusing on. Targets, HTTP, this is to tell us about a website, blah, blah, blah. And then what we need to know is we need to focus more on these particular three. So there is something, if you look at it, it looks a little bit like a dollar sign, but it is not a dollar sign on this particular add, clear, and auto. Now, for example, if I click auto, if you watch what is on your screen, if I click auto, automatically what do you see? That it highlights both the text and it highlights both the password. It already knows automatically that these particular values are mostly what I might want to change or I might want to address. So if I click clear all, it leaves both of them. So that means if I don't know the username of an account and I want to maybe have administration password. I don't want to have, maybe I have somebody's email address. That's not what I want. Maybe I don't know about your admin. I don't know what the administrator might use. I don't know what their password might be. I have no clue. Black box testing. I can just, if I would want to penetrate, I would want to use auto. So I want to attack both the username and the password of that website to penetrate. But because for now, we are still focusing on password. Let's say we know the username. You can now highlight the password and just click add. So we are not using auto, we are using add. Once we use add, in the beginning, you will see something like dollar. In the end, you will see something like dollar. That means it has covered those particular places. And that is why you see it appear as dark blue, blah, blah, blah. With that being said, the moment you click it and you add any of these things, the payload is going to open, telling you that what information did you want to put in this place. So in the text that I already wrote, it can be 10 billion. You can have 10 billion text here. Most hackers do, and pen testers. They are both the same. It's just the name that are different. You can paste it. You can paste it here. And then you can decide to duplicate them, but there wouldn't be any reason to trouble yourself. You can load it if maybe the file, if it has like billions of passwords, you can load it here and you can test it. You can decide to remove them if you want to remove. So if I say remove, I can click this and I say, oh, I want to remove this. And it has removed that one. I can decide to add. Oh, maybe I remember that, oh, maybe Junior is supposed to be there. Maybe Bola is supposed to be there. Maybe Kelechi is supposed to be there. These are just, and then that is what this particular aspect works for. And once I'm done with this place, we are not yet in this other side, so I wouldn't say anything here. We can come to the sniper attack and we say start attack. And once we say start attack, what we see immediately is it begins to test each of them as the password under the payload to see which one would work with it. You can see I type 15, it's on 12, 13 of and 15, and it says finish. So if it is 10 million password that I type, that is how it keeps testing every single one of them till it gets the one that is right. And so I can see them here. But just like what we did under targets, whereby You have to, under the target, you have to go at the top if you don't want two, 3xs, 4xs. So what I do now is that under this place called view filter, because if perhaps I have maybe 3,000 password that I used, I cannot be scrolling. My eyes will get confused. So what I can decide to do is to just come to this view filter and I will deactivate anyone that is error. 300, you are an error. 400, you are a failure. 500, you are a failure. 200 simply means success. So if 200 simply means success, I say apply. And once I say apply, only the one that shows 200 will be the one that would respond. Every other ones will stop. The same way, if I come here and I say I want to be a failure, I don't want to get the answer, and I say 300, 400, the 400, only 300 would appear. There is no success in any of it. So if I click on them, you can see their password. If I click on this, you can see the password. If I click on testy, you can see the password. And when you click on the response is also the same thing. If you click on the response and you click on render, it will tell you must log in. Kelechi, the same thing. Bola, the same thing. You must log in. None of them is going to work. But when I come back to the view filter and I say only the successful one is what I want to see, and I say apply, the successful one showed up. And if I click on it, click on response, I can see the information. And with that being said, I know that test is the password. I can now go to the website and put in the test, and I've been able to break into it. Do you understand?
Super, super.
So I hope I'm not going
Understood,
to,
sir.
I don't want to do it. Yeah, we wouldn't want to make too many confusions so people say we can't over digest or they haven't digested this before we take the next one, because we still have multiple of ways you can use to break into things. If you want to break into a door, you can decide to use a pin. If you know how to use a pin, you would go in with a pin. If you don't know how to use a pin, you might use an hammer to break the door and the padlock. So it is more or less like we're using, looking for the right instruments to penetrate the websites.
Sorry, sir. Can I ask this question? I don't know if it's going to be okay.
Go ahead.
For instance,
Go ahead.
the way you added these passwords, can someone bring
Mm.
multiple websites too?
Multiple websites.
Yes, multiple website like maybe 100,000, and also crack password like 1 million password. Put everything together.
What you can do is this: you can open 10 billion, but it is how fast your system is. So let's say that I bring in 200,000 websites. Can you actually work on 200,000 websites? The question will be, why would you want to work on 200 websites at a time? It would affect you. Let's say you are working on 20 websites at a time. You can bring the 20 websites, you go to intruder, you go to intruder, you go to intruder, and you can paste the old password, because look at it, this is only what you do. You say on this, I copied my password and I paste it. You come to this number three, I copy password and paste it, SQL password, you can do all kind of things. We are still going to touch on SQL, all those payload stuff. And you can type them up to 100, up to 200. They are going to load themselves here, and you can begin to attack each website. But the question is, that is not ethical to do, because your organization that you are mostly working with, if you're working with an organization, they cannot have more than 10 websites. Any organization that start having 20 websites, that organization have issues. So, but it is possible. In a
Oh,
nutshell, it is
okay.
possible.
Okay, okay. Just
Yeah.
wanted to know.
Yeah, it is possible. So you can, what you are saying, I think maybe what you're saying is that can you have multiple accounts of many people, just like a Facebook stuff, and you have multiple accounts, maybe this email address, and maybe like 20 people are having issues at a time, or 200 people, and you just pick all the email addresses and you bring them in with their own pages and their own testing that you've done, and then put in the payload on each of them and let it do its magic.
Yes, you're right. Sure, sure.
Please,
Yeah.
I have a question,
So you
please.
can, all right.
Please, this password testing, what if the password is alphanumeric? How do you test that?
That's why I said we are still going to talk about ChatGPT and blah blah blah, but it can be alphanumeric. Nobody says it shouldn't be alphanumeric. But if it's alphanumeric, there's what we call SQL code. SQL injection does not care what you put there. It will try its best to break. We haven't even talked about password breaking because there are many that we can use. There are still many things we are not touching on. So even if it is alphanumeric, we can use only this now. This is not alphanumeric, but this will break the website. I can use X or X. I think this should also be a password breaker. X equal X. This is not the password, but I can say copy. And let me open test PHP, for example, and I say if the username, let me even put it here and see if it will work. Now or X equals X. Let me paste it as password and I say login. Let me see. And it's open. So it doesn't care about alphanumeric. It's not the username, it's not the password. So, but the fact is that we are not yet here.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
My question is it peculiar to websites? Can it also apply to email addresses?
Yes. That is the reason why, if not for consent, you don't, there is rules around being a cybersecurity person. This is, look at these people now. They block my account. It, I
Yes.
can do it, but I can't show it to the public because we don't know who is watching. I kicked out some, that reminds me, I kicked out some Nigerian law enforcement in some of my classes. That was on Monday
Really?
because, yes, because they paid money to join my classes. I have group classes, group B, group A, group C. I have all classes I take every single time. When I make videos, sometimes I use that as a means to just play around. I
Yeah,
have a
yeah.
lot of things on my table.
Mm,
But
mm.
when I have this class, I took them before I started giving the class assignment. They have paid their money completely. So I have been training the students for a couple of months, and then they didn't see it coming. Though I've caught some of them wearing, they did not know in the class, they just put on their camera. They didn't know they put on their camera. I saw uniforms and the rest of it. I kicked those ones out. Then next one is I'm just like, okay, let me leave these people. And then I gave them assignments. Maybe they are here to learn so that when they
Uh-huh,
learn, they can use that
uh-huh,
knowledge to go after
uh-huh.
criminals
Yes,
and the rest of it. So I
yes,
left them to
yes.
start learning. Then when I gave
Mhm.
them assignments, I just one day said, everybody, I put on all my system and I said, everybody do this assignment. They cannot even do anything. So the only thing I realize is they are just here to monitor, not like
Mm.
they are interested. So it's like, and these are the same people that will keep reaching out to me, begging me to help them track this, track this, track this. And I'm like, come and learn how to track. But rather, you are looking for if this guy is going to commit an offense, so you are going to use find a scapegoat. And I told them, if anybody try again to come into my account or into my class, I will find you. I will get your phone, and there's nothing God cannot do when I know your phone number. So if
Anyway,
they are here,
Yes,
and
of
if they are
course. There is
here,
nothing that God cannot do. And you people should know that this is a man of God, not even a man of God. There's nothing God
yes,
cannot do.
because if I pray, my prayer would definitely be answered.
Of
It's as
course.
simple as ABC, including the
strong
system.
prayer.
I will call upon God and He will answer me. So with that being said, those are the reasons why we are still keeping some stuff here. But when we get to certain level, we would increase our knowledge on some of these things.
Thank you. God bless you, sir.
Yes, sir. Amen.
We will
So please,
give them
there should be a
the
practice on this. I wouldn't want to go through so some people will not get lost. I would like them to practice on few of these things. Now, if you see someone who has a website that can give you for tests, do that. I would not encourage anyone just going randomly and picking people's website, because one thing is this: you might be able to log into something and you just destroy somebody's website and you can affect certain. It's just like there are some classes whereby I would teach them to exploit system, but the idea is not for you to inject the system. You can exploit any system around the world, but if they are open, you can exploit it, but not inject it. Because if you inject anything into the website, into the system, into people's network, you can destroy their network. So I am not encouraging some of that, basically because of certain rules and the rest of it around cybersecurity lectures and the rest. So please, any question before we call it a
Um,
day, or would you want us to
yes,
proceed?
the GitHub page that you loaded. Yeah, exactly. That's what I wanted to see.
Okay. Now on the GitHub, I am thinking that probably in the next class we are going to touch more on GitHub. We are going to learn how to create our accounts on GitHub. Now, some people when they are hearing things about hackers, or we hear things about dark web, though there are different kind of dark web, I'm always proud to call myself part of people on the dark web. Dark web does not mean evil people. It's just like these are all kinds of programmers who plan things, who just work things out, who test different kind of things that are working. Now on GitHub is also the same thing. We have millions of hackers who write different kind of programs. And so instead of me writing all the program myself, I associate myself with others, see the program they've written, I can add my own value on it, blah, blah, blah. So most times they write all kinds of programs that they can use to break into website, blah, blah, blah. And you can take out of those things to use it to test. This is just one. There are millions of codes that you can use to break into website. This is just nothing. So in our next class, we'll be able to start exploiting on those particular aspects of GitHub where you can gather more information from. So this is more or less like a small market environment that is public. We have private environments, but this is
Amanda,
one.
stop that.
And if you look at it, once you type github.com, this is it. You can decide to register or sign up or use your email address to come in, so you can always gather information there. But what I did, actually, I am not here to sign up yet. I just said some of the information are on Google. So what I say is SQL injection payload. So SQL injection payload, we haven't talked about it. And that's the reason why I don't want to confuse you guys with too much information. There are different kind of SQL that a lot of people are creating, and you can just pick up some of those codes and use them, and it's going to work. Funny enough, You can upgrade a lot of information, and the old type of hacking, simple things like you might try to break into a password with difficult things and all of that, and it will not break. Just a small thing can break into a website. Just something very simple can break into a website. So how do you search for the right injection or the right cheat or the right payload? Those are what we are going to be covering probably in our next class. Not probably. That's what we should be covering. Hello.
Yeah, we are here. We are here.
We're present, sir.
Okay, okay. I had boom. I thought it was from my end. So what I did is after typing the SQL, this is just one person's own. And I just opened this and I got these particular ones. So one can decide to pick out of all this information and test it with different websites. Like I could say, let me pick from this. These are different ones, and I can still use it on, oh, this is another burpsuite. And I can still say intruder. This is it. Let me clear this one off. I clear everything off and I paste this one, these different codes here, and I say start attack. So let me deactivate all the error ones and
Seven
let
has
me
got
just
it
see the
already.
successful one.
7,
Okay,
9.
so 7 works. Well, even though this one did not work, just because it shows 200 doesn't mean it works. So if you look at the response here,
Error.
it shows you have an error in your SQL syntax. Now, the ones that are working under the lens, that's why I say we have a lot of things to cover. Anyone that shows 6,216, I know that one got it right. So I click on that, and you see that it has breaking into it. Another one shows 6,200, it works. But this one that even shows 200, but it's 377,
Okay.
doesn't work.
Okay.
This one shows 6,200. So now I am getting the one that are correct, not through this status code. Though I already picked this 200, I am getting the right one through the length of the
Yes.
information.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So the length of the information tells me that, oh, this one is going to work. Now, all these ones are not going to work. All these ones are not going to work. You can see them, they are not going to work. They are very close to working, but there's one little error that is not making them work. So this one now, this means admin or 1 = 1 hash is a password that I can use. It is a code that I can use to break into this particular kind of website. There are many bloggers' websites that this same thing that I'm doing here would break thousands of bloggers' websites, basically because they are not secure. I did not ask you to start going after that, but I'm just narrating it. So that's how it works. So next time we are going to continue from this particular end. Please, is there any question we want to ask?
Yes, please. None of that. Hello?
Yeah,
Please, my bob
yeah, I can hear
suit.
you. Proceed.
When I try to open my bob suit, it's asking asking me to reinstall. I did that, but each time I try to open, it's still asking me to reinstall. What could be
All right,
the
you're
way
clicking on the
forward?
wrong. You're clicking on the wrong one. What you're doing is this: that particular one you downloaded, that you downloaded, is on a
Okay.
folder called downloads. After you are done installing it, delete that one. Just go to your
Okay.
system and find that Bob suite on that download and delete it. When you delete it, and you go under your maybe search button and you
Search
type
bar.
Bob suite. Yeah, the search bar, the Bob suite is actually going to come up.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Please, any other question? Is there any network issue?
Network is fine.
No, the network is fine, sir. We don't have questions.
Okay, okay. So with that being said, I would encourage everyone that is part of today's class to try and go to the practice with this particular one that we have done. Make sure you can do it. And then it is what you've practiced, then you can start transferring it to other things as we proceed little by little. So let us practice with it. If you don't get the picture clearly, go back to the video and watch. I don't know if there's any other thing. Maybe we call it a day.
The class is very quiet today. No
For
worries.
now, thank you so much, sir. At least we once we go through the maybe I
We
get
have
to learn more.
so the fact is that everybody are confused. People brain are spinning, so we have to go back to the video. So that's why the class is very, very quiet. And
Everybody has done
No,
what?
eh?
No, I think the reason everyone is quiet is because we have seen the vulnerability of what we originally assumed was
Exactly,
uncrackable.
exactly.
So everybody is like in awe of this. It's
Hmm.
ah God. In fact, all my websites now I'm going
Yeah.
All right.
thank you,
And
Mr.
Thank,
Kolawole. Thank you so
thank you
much.
very much.
This
you're,
is so eye-opening.
you're welcome.
Thank you
Wow,
so
I
much,
didn't know I
sir.
was sleeping with my door open.
No problem. We are just starting. When we get to the real place, we know that okay, we are there.
You know, that's my
No
problem.
problem.
You keep saying we are just starting. At this rate, with what I've seen, we are just starting. Voila.
Sure, sure. When we get there, you will realize. Like you can break into any system. We haven't talked about breaking of Wi-Fi. We haven't gone into breaking of Wi-Fi. We haven't done anything or breaking any password have been secure. We haven't done that. We haven't talked about attacking a system. We haven't talked about tracking a phone, tracking a device, how you can know the location of anybody. We haven't done all of that. So we still have a long way to go. That's why I say we are just starting. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, sir.
All right. Good day, everyone. Bye for now.
Good day, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir. God bless you.
Is that
Okay,
all?
sir.
Thank you.
Here we go.
This thing is very large, oh. We are just
Priye,
starting.
Is it
Not
large?
as we thought. It's very
Ah,
big.
To be
my head
honest,
was hot. My head was hot today.
to
I'm
be
telling
honest,
you,
I
please
Ah,
was
clap.
like,
Eh? I
I
did not
could
even
just
not
after
understand.
understand one
twenty
single
percent,
thing.
I have to go. I have to
I
go and watch
was
the video.
lost several times.
I have to go back. We just have to go back to the video again. I could not
I see.
understand
Exactly.
one
I
single
only crap
thing.
only 20%, 20 or 10%.
Ah.
Is
That's just it. Though. Somebody have to go back to the video.
That's
Exactly.
just
I
Not
it.
don't
even what.
understand this class at all.
Eh?
Whether he has confused me the more, I
Stanley,
cannot even tell.
Sir,
Ah,
how are you
I
doing,
keep
sir?
saying you are
I'm
not there
doing
yet.
great.
You are
How
not
about
there
you?
yet.
Yes.
I didn't hear you.
I say I'm doing great. How about you?
Oh, we're doing good. We're doing good.
Ah, man.
You sound so much like someone I know.
Really?
Yes.
Ah, it's possible.
The name of the person is Priye.
Priye, oh no.
Priye, Priye is my in-law. I wanted to be sure that I'm not being monitored.
Okay. No.
They're not
I'm in
serious
Abuja.
about
At this point, someone have to be very careful.
You know, someone has to be very careful.
Is Farmer of Thought here? Is Farmer of
We
Thought
don't
here?
know. We don't know he's watching
Farmer
you.
of Thought is not around.
He's
No,
there. He's
Yeah.
around.
Farmer
He's
of
around.
Thought.
I'm seeing him.
The
Okay,
thing
Farmer
today was tough.
Farmer of
Wow.
Thought
Oh,
is
my
not
head
here.
was hot.
He's not talking. Are you sure he's close?
Ah,
He's not here.
today
He's
class
here.
was
He's
tough,
here.
actually.
He's probably eating or drinking something.
He's battling with. He has been battling with network issues.
Let me
He's
start
been
this
battling
video
with
and start
network.
with the old video first. Because I really
Today
want
was not
to
easy.
master the old video before I move on to this one.
Seriously.
Hey, like what I have heard today, and guys, I'm someone that has been in IT for the past 25 years.
Wow.
For people like you,
things
it's
that
not
you say,
difficult for you now.
it's not. But what I heard today, I almost pooped myself.
What you heard today is making you think that you're just starting, right?
Do you know?
Yes,
do you
now.
know that what I've heard today just told me that I've been sleeping with my door open. And guys, I have been in charge of the security for oil prospecting companies.
Wow.
Which means they were so fucking vulnerable. And I had no idea.
Oh my goodness.
Man, today,
Full of thoughts.
I learned a lot. Like my head was even hot.
I said that video that I said I'm not watching.
Where's your company so that you can come and take it to? Where's your company?
No, I don't know. Sorry.
Today was exceptional.
It was a good one. Today is a good one.
Today's a good one, truly.
Yeah.
Today's a good one.
Okay, guys.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Bye,
All right,
everyone.
Bye. Hi, Chai. A man of thought left class very early today. Oh my God. It's not a good one at all.